Let's hear the other side. Guys of Reddit, what's the creepiest thing a girl has ever said to you? Was talking to a girl on the phone who at the time was fricked up on painkillers and started relating to me a story about how when she was 7 she pushed a girl into a pool and watched her drown. Her grandma came home, found out about it, and told her to tell the police it was an accident. That should have been a warning sign right there. I kept some of your hair. Minus 20-year high school reunion. Copied from an email I received from a stalker 7 years ago. When you and her have your baby, rest assured, I'll be the one that raises it. Whoa, that's genuinely horrifying. When I was about 17 years old I worked at a cafeteria and some girls, 11 and 13, were chasing me for weeks. They even waited in front of my door when I had to go to work to chase me all the way up there. One day I was working and the cafeteria was full with people when the 11-year-old girl said, "When can I give you a BJ?" Everyone instantly looked at me, uncomfortable. I isn't even the right word to describe my feelings at that moment. In 7 years, then you put on your poker face and walk away. I was dating a girl called Ellison. My grandma is also called Ellison. I had mentioned that I found it a little weird that they had the same name. So once as we were having sex she asked, "Does this make you think of your grandma?" It didn't. Until then. You got trolled. Making out with a girl I was seeing. Lightly slide my hand up her chest, and as my hand is going to caress her cheek, she grabs it around her neck and forces me to choke her, which is fine. She then proceeded to call out her brother's name. Was his name Allison? This happened to a friend of mine I was living with. I won't go into it, but the situation we were in demanded we shared a bunk bed. We had a rule that we could bring girls home so long as we kept the noise down. One night, whilst sleeping, my friend brings this girl home with him. I woke up to them coming in as they went up to his bunk to start messing around. I hear the typical stuff at first. Lip smacks, heavy breathing, some moaning. Then it happened. I hear the girl whisper to my friend the words, "Are you down with the funk?" In retrospect, my friend says he said yes because the chick was hot and he didn't want to ruin the night. So he says, "Yeah baby, I'm down with the funk for sure." Almost immediately the girl takes off her panties, stands up on the bunk, turns around, squats and shoots right on his chest. Luckily for him it wasn't the messy sort, but as you can imagine, the guy lost his crap. No pun intended. He tossed her off the bunk and started screaming for girl to get the frick out of his house. Meanwhile, I'm on the bottom bunk laughing my ass off. So, not really the creepiest thing a woman's ever said, but now you know what the funk is. You don't have to wear a condom. I'll just miscarry. I wore a condom. You have no right to your own life, and if you try to leave me I'll kill you so nobody else can have you. Good times. Threaten to kill yourself if she doesn't leave. You got her out crazy the crazy. I was over at her dorm room and, after we got done with our business, I spotted a bottle of my cologne on her desk. I asked her about it, and she said she sprayed it around to make her room smell like me. Okay, next week, she gets into my car, makes a big snee sound, and says, "Oh, smells like you in here." She started masturbating. No crap. En route to Kroger. Okay, few weeks later, at her dorm room, I decide to get a little nosy. I find the following. 1 aforementioned bottle of cologne. 2 pairs of my dirty undies, not left by me. 3 pair of my dirty socks again, not left by me. And this freaked me out more than anything for some reason. 4 envelope with, what I can only assume to be, drumroll, my pubes in it. Not okay. I break up with her over ICQ. The good old days. She informs me that she left a bag at my apartment. It's under my bed. In said bag is a bunch of completely random crap with Kmart tags still on it. It was obviously a plant, meant to force us to have an awkward post-breakup makeup reunion. Nay, says I. Got my army buddy to drive me over to her dorm in his Ford Festiva. I saw her on the curb, waiting, crying. I launched that bag out the window and we took off as fast as that Festiva would go. Never did see if the bag hit her butt. Given its trajectory, it's highly likely. For those who will want to know, the cologne I was wearing was Old Spice. Well, I've posted it before and I'll post it again. I want your meat tampon. Had to explain to her how that was not a turn on. Quick, throw a hot dog at her and run. Just so you know, I wrote your name on my leg with a box cutter so I'll always have you near me. Girl faked a pregnancy and said her dad hit her to get attention from my friend. My dad hits me to get your attention. Put on a condom. You don't know where I've been. This is the only one I laughed at. She's either nasty or had a great sense of humor. Had a girl grab my face in the middle of sex, tell me it was okay if I came in her, then grabbed my face and told me I know how to kill babies. Did you enjoy that dinner? I put my blood in it. Now part of me is inside of you. Yes, this actually happened. I thought she meant she put a lot of work into it, like blood, sweat, and tears, and asked her, and she showed me the cut she made to bleed herself into the dinner. I once went to a ski resort where people of different nationalities were there. A young Chinese girl introduced herself to me the day I was leaving and asked for my number, so I gave it to her. She called me about a week later and asked me if I wanted to go over to her place for a dinner party. I thought to myself, sure, why not? So I turn up with some booze and find about 24 young Chinese girls and no guys. None of the girls spoke any English except the girl who invited me. They sat me down at the end of a table, spoke in Chinese all night while looking in my direction, and giggled all the way through. I had no idea what they were saying. At the end of the night, the hostess asked me if I would be so kind to pose for individual photos with each one of them separately. I hesitated, but went along with it. They giggled hysterically throughout, and still only spoke Chinese. No idea WTF that was all about, but I got seriously creeped out. Edit. No sex involved. Those girls were young. I'm a regular guy. Only thing I can think of is they thought maybe I looked like someone famous, though I don't think I do. Edit 2. Okay, some people are making a big thing about the booze thing. In Australia, it's traditional to bring some wine when invited to a dinner party. Also, here the legal drinking age is 18. The girl I met was no younger than 18, I thought, so it was all cool. I was in my mid-20s then, so by young I meant they were too young for me, though technically it would have been perfectly legal. I'm no predator, I just like girls to be around my age, but not younger by a huge margin. Also, the hostess told me none of them ever drank alcohol, which made me think that they were slightly on the innocent side. I got this. Foreign students in a local university, who have all told their family and friends back home they have an American, replace with WE country you're in, boyfriend, decide to work together to trick the people back home by getting a random average guy to pose in pictures with them, treat him to a nice dinner. Want some of this crusty pinature? And I want to stick my fist in your ass. Both offers declined. A girl I hadn't even dated carved my initials into her ankle. She received no penis. She received no penis. I'm making an effort to use this phrase at least once in my life. I think about you when my dad FCKS me. Actual quote. I really had no idea what to say or do about that. If I got pregnant, I'd just drink enough to kill the baby, because I'm not ready to have a kid yet. One of my friends, she was 14 at the time, and that's what she did. Worked every time. Had a girl request me to break into her apartment, make her hot chocolate in her kitchen, while she's scared in her bedroom, and then come in and have sex. I am sorry I cheated on you. I just lost your baby. Goodbye. Stick it in my ass, baby. Starts to insert it. Ow. What the F is wrong with you? I was just trying to turn you on. Sorry I stop. What are you doing? Keep going. Yes, stick it in my ass. You just told me not to. You're supposed to just rape it. Oh, 0. I had a girl I once kissed at a party proceed to send me pictures of her crying, half naked and makeup smeared all over her face, Joker style. She won't stop calling me or sending random pictures of herself with distressed or angry face. This has been going on for 3 months now. I think your friend may have actually been kidnapped and you're missing the requests for ransom at the bottom of the messages. This is a toss-up between look at these before showing me hundreds of bits of paper the girl had written my name on, over and over again, when we'd been out once, or the time I woke up from a lovely sexy times dream, to find my GF gripping my dong and asking me over and over again, who do you think I am? Tell me your secrets, penis. A friend of mine declared her love for me by saying, if I knew that by killing myself, I would be born again as a pretty woman. I would do it so that you would love me. But if that would happen, she would be born as a baby and babies are gross. Impeccable logic. Do you want all your stuff back? After we broke up, I had not given her anything. She had stolen it all over time. She had it couriered to me. We then ended up having sexy talk a few months later over email. I found out later that it was her sister mailing. In the stuff she sent back was a photo album entirely filled with pictures of me sleeping. Good times. I had to read it twice. I was having sex with a girl I knew and she starts shouting my best friend's name, then the names of 3 other men I didn't know. It creeped me out beyond belief, so I told her I was done. She climbed off me, started pleasing herself and moaning her own name while glaring at me over her shoulder. We were on a lot of drugs and it was the worst night of my life. Haven't spoken to her since. I masturbate in the women's room with those thick highlighters. I had to borrow a girl's computer once for a group project in college. I got to the group meeting and there was a password. I called her and after 10 minutes she finally gave me the password, which was her first name and my last name. I think that's kinda cute. Your lips looked dry while you were sleeping, so I'll lick them for you. That's pretty friendly, Emo. I've been following you for days. We can't go behind those bushes and frick. I think you're looking for the best offer a girl has ever made thread. Wife and I were in town with our son visiting my parents when an old high school friend, she was only ever a friend, came by to meet my wife and 2-year-old son. After we all sat and talked for a few hours and after what felt like a pretty normal night of company, we all got up to say goodnight and the friend hugged my wife goodbye, then turned to me, grasped me very firmly into a hug, kissed me on the lips, then whispered into my ear, "Your son should have been ours. I love you," then turned like it was totally normal and waved goodbye to us and left. My wife didn't see or hear any of it and I never told her. She thinks the girl is a decent person and we'll never see her again. After hooking up with a girl several times, I had run out of condoms. The time came again to do the deed and I had not restocked. She said it was okay, so not being one to argue, I proceeded. After I finished she turned around and said, "You made a Barbie, edit." So yeah, I pulled out. She was kinda joking, but she really did want me to knock her up. She was what you would call a husband hunter. She rocked in the sack and cooked for me and overall took pretty good care of me. She was a nut job though. In the end no babes were made. I left her and she worked as a stripper for a while. Heard she got married. His problem now. My brain screamed, "I love you with all my heart. Let us run away and get married." Not creepy yet. I was 12, she was 42. Not directly to me, but a friend of mine's mom referred to me as a tasty little snack when I was 15. And no, she was not a MILF. Not even close. I went to a football game with this girl. Afterwards, I went to meet her dad, which was already kind of weird. He said to her, "Is this the boy you've been talking about for the past 3 months?" I had known the girl for 4 days. I had a drunk girl forcefully attempt to pretty much rape, have sex with me because she wanted to see if a gay guy could frick a girl. The entire time she kept saying, "I just want to see if it works," while she tried to climb on top of me. Pretty freaking creepy awkward if you ask me. So I did this chick that lived near me, only a few times over a few days. She got really attached to the point of freaky, so I backed off. Within a month she was at a mental institution. 2 weeks after that she gets back and happens to be sitting with her mom outside when I got home from work, so I could either ignore her completely or interact. I greeted them nicely and asked how she was, not mentioning where she just was. She stared at me for like a minute straight with the most blank creepy face I've ever seen and finally said something. "Are you the one that was controlling my mind? Foe. I want to rape you and want you to yell crying me mommy. I crap you not," she said that. I still live in the same apartment building as her. At this point, enough women have threatened to rape me that I assumed it was a normal conversation opener. I can't believe I just typed that sentence. I was about to try to reassure you, but I think I need to review my friends list. I can poop bigger than you can, as she began dropping her pants. To be fair, we were only 3 or 4 years old at the time, behind my parents' garage. And though I lost that contest, I married her years later and have since upped my game. I was literally almost inside of this girl and some sexy talk is going on and she whispers, "You know why I've always liked you?" I asked why and she said, "You remind me of my dad." I still banged her, but I didn't call her for a while after that. I still banged her. Good man. I kinda write Twilight fanfiction. Pull down pants. Start slapping dong on keyboard shouting, "So do I." I want a baby. I think you'd make beautiful babies. I was 18 at the time. Girl I had slept with 2 times, without knowing her or her friends. We were neighbors. My friends saw you at Bar X on Saturday. I thought you said you weren't going out. How did they know it was me? I never met any of your friends. They've seen pictures. Pictures of what? Of you sleeping.
Man, I sure do love great content. And I'm working on some of that over at Updoot, man. So you should go there right now. Go there. Go if you aren't subscribed to this channel, subscribe. Then go over to Updoot, man. Right there. You click right there. You click right there. You better do it. You better, so help me, you better go over there because you deserve something good. I put my heart and soul into this stuff, man.